Hello everyone and welcome back to another mod spotlight with me, Black, therefore a Blacklight. Wouldn't it be awesome if there was a mod adding just a bunch of awesome, amazing, random things that would make Minecraft better? Today there is. We're going to have a look at random things from Lumien, and we're using version 2.2.3 for Minecraft 1.7.10. The first real clue you get to I'm playing with random things here is that if you cut down all the logs of a tree, all the leaves will immediately decay, and that is a config option, but that's just... I wish I had that way earlier than I found random things. That is super amazing. And the next thing we'll have a look at is the ectoplasm. The ectoplasm is dropped from spirits that can spawn somewhere around 2% of the time you kill monsters, unless you use the Spectre sword. That will bring up the spawning rate to 10%, and when you kill the spirits you can get the ectoplasm. You can use the ectoplasm to make Spectre ingots, or Spectre iron for example, which you can then use to make the said sword, with an obsidian stick from random things or an obsidian tool rod from Tinker's Construct. You can also make a Spectre armor. That would take 24 like any other armor, and if we put it on and look at ourselves, we are actually transparent to a degree, and that looks amazing. And above all else, if you look at the tooltip here, damage done to enemies creates orbs that heal the player with the lowest health nearby. Which means, basically, if we hurt stuff, we get health. That's useful. So, let's see if we can get one of those spirits in by, for example, killing an imp. As I said, it's a 10% chance, so I'm going to make a cut. And there we have one. That's the spirit, and once they spawn, they will stay in your world for approximately 40 seconds trying to escape you by flying upwards, and there we have the ectoplasm. If you see when I hit stuff, they get particle effects. That's a slowness 2 debuff that they also get when you hit stuff with this sword. And now I get 2 of them in a row. That's just amazing. So let's put this back, and we are now clean again. So let's take a stack of dirt and a stack of grass blocks, because that's planned for later. Next up we have the Spectre key made with a stick and Spectre iron. Let's see if I can get the recipe. 1 Spectre iron and 1 stick. Using this, by holding right click, will teleport you to the Spectre dimension, to your own personal little box. Well, it's not that little. To get a sense of destination, no, of distance, we can place some dirt blocks, so it's not that small, and you and any server admins are the only people that can access your box. So it's a very safe storage for all your precious diamonds, for example. And to get back, you just hold right click with the Spectre key, or you use the command that is a failsafe. If you accidentally throw away your key when in the Spectre dimension, you can type exit /exit Spectre, like that. And you're out, just where you used your key. Up next we have the Spirit Binder. That's crafted with a nether star, 4 ender pearls, and 4 of the ectoplasm. This is a very powerful item, that's why it requires a nether star. You can move spawners with this, and that is amazing if you want to make a neat mob spawner with no power, just a whole bunch of monster spawners, and you're good to go. After that we have the magnetic force. This is a server item, you don't really have a use for it in single player. If you press right click, you will get up this user interface, and all the online server members will show up here, and if you click one of them you will be teleported to them, consuming your magnetic force. After that we have the Gintu. The Gintu is crafted with spectre iron and 2 pieces of iron. And then you can fill it up with 1 piece of ectoplasm to get the filled Gintu. This is then used to revive other players. If you die and don't press the respawn button, there will be a small particle effect that you can use the filled Gintu on to revive them. And if you want to know more about that, you can check out the wiki page. The wiki page is very extensive and very good if you want to learn more about random things. After that we have another item that is crafted with the ectoplasm, that's the spectre glass. Let's bring up the recipe for that one. 1 ectoplasm and 8 pieces of glass will give you 16 spectre glass, which is oh so handy, but I will show you that later. In the next room we have the imbuing station. The imbuing station is your modded version of a vanilla brewing stand, and you can press the arrow here to get the recipes. And what it makes is different types of flasks or flasks. For example, poison and experience. We have them all here. Let's take a look at these. No, not those two. This one and this one. Yeah, the flask of experience and spectre are a bit different from the other 4, in that the flask of spectre, when you're it's an imbuing station. It will imbue you with, for this one, spectre imbue, which 10% of the chance someone hits you, it will just go right through. And after that we have the flask of experience. It says here, I will work with any entity as soon as there are forge hooks for me. That means it does not work on passive mobs at the moment, but it's not a flaw in random things. It does, however, work on hostile monsters, and what it does, it gives you 50% more experience than you would get otherwise. So let's get a pig. And I like my pork chops cooked, so flask of fire. And we get fire imbue. Any physical damage we do will be fire damage. You can also try the flask of withering. Let's see, cooked pork chop. Another pig, and you are now withered pig. And that is a wither 2 for 10 seconds if I don't remember incorrectly. And you are dead. So we have some more spectre glass because it looks so good. And we just walk over this lava. That is actually fluid displays from random things. The fluid display is crafted like this. It's 1 glass bottle and 8 pieces of glass panes. Gives you 8 fluid displays. If you take any fluid, for example lava, and right click on the fluid display, it will display the texture of lava. If you would prefer running lava, you can right click the block and you get running lava. And you can exchange it easily, and it will not consume the liquid in the bucket. And the difference between the ordinary fluid display and the advanced fluid display, which is crafted with adding 1 piece of lapis, is that if you take multiple buckets of a liquid, you can exchange it in the ordinary one, or in the other one, the advanced one, you can add multiple liquids on different sides. So we can have a water lava milk block, because that just makes sense. In the next room we have a heap of random things added by random things. So we have, first of all, the void stone. This is so useful, like if you accidentally kill a pig and you don't really want the pork chop, you can just put it in the void stone. The void stone is your portable trash can. Superiorly useful when out adventuring and you don't want to litter your server with despawning items that doesn't have time to despawn. And then we have the drop filter. This also goes in the category of I don't want that item, but in a different manner. For example, if you put 1 piece of dirt in an item filter, place the item filter in the drop filter, and throw the dirt and the grass on the floor. Now if we go to pick it up and have that in our inventory, we will pick up the grass block, but the dirt will stay behind. Now that's semi-useful, because maybe you don't want to pick up all the cobblestone when you're out mining. However, it would be better if we didn't have that cobblestone on the floor at all. So if you combine the item filter with a void stone, we get a voiding drop filter. The void stone is crafted with an ender pearl and 4 pieces of smooth stone. That's not very expensive. And the ordinary drop filter is crafted with 1 piece of flint, 4 pieces of string, and 4 pieces of leather. And the voiding drop filter works just the same. If we place the dirt filter in here, throw a stack of dirt and a stack of grass on the floor, pick it up, we get the grass, but the dirt goes into the filter and gets voided. So useful. Now, if you're on a server, this will be your best friend. The Ender letter. If you right click, you get up this user interface, and we have our very good friend Blacklight. Because this is a single player world, so we don't have many others to send letters to. And we want to send 1 piece of one glass bottle and 1 cooked pork chop. Because Blacklight is such a good friend. Hold shift and right click. The letter is sent. And the achievement get received Ender letter, sender Blacklight. Open it, and when you take out the items, the actual letter will be removed from the world, like this. But someone else got the items, in this case me, but on a server, you know what I mean. Next up we have some items going into the category of collecting items. So let's say we have a chest, and we have something that drops items everywhere and litters this area. We would like to have them inside that chest, but we don't want to have hoppers everywhere. We place an item collector on top of the chest, and now they are in the chest. It's a very simple and super useful item that everyone needs it. It's a random thing. And it also has an upgraded version called an advanced item collector. The recipe for the ordinary one is an ender pearl, obsidian stick again, 2 pieces of redstone, and a hopper. And you can then upgrade it with 1 diamond and 2 pieces of glowstone dust. So not super expensive, but well worth it. So we want a pickaxe just for a second. Break the item collector and place the advanced item collector instead. The advanced item collector you can set filters on, just like we did on the drop filter. We can also specify the range in all 3 directions. That is, the X coordinate, the Y coordinate, and the Z coordinate. And that's... I've used this so many times. I can't tell you how amazing it is, and it goes up to a range of 10. And it does not care about walls. So, super useful item. I forgot to show you the range of the item collector. It's supposed to be a 2x2x2 cube, but what I've experienced is around here. And if I place the item here instead, it will not be picked up. So 2 blocks away and then a little bit. That's pretty much the range of the ordinary item collector. Let's put those back on the shelf because they look like pretty candles. Some more random things, for example the sound recorder. You can hold shift to turn it on and off, and if you just open it, it will show you all the sounds it has recorded. You can also do it live. For example, if you do like this, there is a bat that is flying around idle, and you can have this on at all times. Go walk around a bit, and let's turn on the rain as well, and open the interface. We have walking on stone. We have a button press. We, however, don't have rain. There's a rain. Ambient weather rain. So for debugging purposes, also very useful. And then we have the fertilized dirt. An ordinary block that works like any piece of dirt, sand, or the like. You can place cacti on here, you can place sugarcane on it, and you can place saplings on it, and it will grow 3 times as fast as it would on its native soil. However, you can use a hoe if you want to place any seed crops on it, like melons, wheat, or pumpkins, for example. After that, we have an online detector. This is semi-useful. I guess it's very useful. However, I have myself never actually used it. If we type in the name, we get black orange, and it's detecting me, and it tells me I'm online. And then you can make a redstone line going from here into a door trap thing. So the one that is detected can never get out of the room yet you accidentally placed them in without doing it on purpose. Just giving you a few ideas. I'm guessing it's a useful block, but... Next up we have the wireless lever. If we hold wireless levers, we see all the wireless levers around and where they are connected. If you look at the redstone lamp, it does not have any redstone connected to it. However, if we right click this one to pull it, the lamp will now turn on. And now it's a white line, which it should be, and now it's a red line because it's on. And if we bind it by holding shift and right clicking on the lamp, placing it over here, and maybe have another one as well. If you go too far away, it will show as a black line. So that's very handy information that you get. And I think the range is around 15 blocks. Next up we have the oh so powerful items. The white stone that can only be found in dungeons, currently uncharged, which is the way you find it. To charge it you need to go outside on a full moon, holding it in your inventory, and then you will get a white stone charged. What this does is amazing. If you die having a white stone in your inventory that is charged, you will just not die, and you will get fire resistance, regeneration, and also resistance. Fire resistance 2, resistance and regeneration for 5 seconds. So handy when you're almost dead. Well, actually, getting rid of the fire would also be quite useful. Thank you. So let's get ourselves a new white stone charged. Because if we die, we don't want to die. And then after that we have an upgraded version called a bloodstone. Occasionally when you have random things installed, you will get a blood moon at night. It's an event that has 5% chance of happening, which will cause monsters to be very frequent, and they will spawn closer to you than they normally would. They don't trespass the light limit, but they do spawn very close to you, and there will be lots. And you will be scared and you will hopefully die. Dropping a charged white stone on the ground during a blood moon, which we will take a look at in a slight moment, will cause it to go into a bloodstone. The bloodstone has charges, as you can see on this one and that one. This one is fully charged with 400 charges. If it has 0 charges and you have it in your inventory, you will heal half a heart every 10 seconds. And that is a health regen that will happen even if you don't have your hunger full. If it's up to 200 charges, it will heal half a heart every second. And when it's fully charged like this one, it will heal half a heart every half second. So you will have a hard time dying. However, if you die when having a fully charged or somewhat charged bloodstone, all the charges will disappear. The white stone, however, will save you from losing your charges, and the resistance and regen, more than the bloodstone regen, will maybe, hopefully, give you the ability to run away. To know when it's a full moon so you can charge your white stones, you can craft a moon phase sensor. It's almost a daylight sensor, however you have nether quartz and lapis, glass and wooden slabs. This gives you the moon phase sensor, which outputs a redstone signal proportional to the moon phase. And when the moon is full, it will output a redstone signal of 15. So if we just forward a few days, that's going down, let's see, 7, 11, 15. So the night on day 32 in this world will be a full moon, which means we can charge our white stones. Then we have the blood moon sensor. The blood moon sensor is crafted just like the moon phase sensor, however we use redstone instead. And this will output a redstone signal whenever there is a blood moon occurring. The moon is full and at its highest point, the white stones are now charging. We have a few more items to look at before we look more into the blood moon scenarios that can happen. We have a random thing here called a biome painter and a biome capsule. The biome painter is used if you want to change the biome in an area you're in. For example, if we press F3, we are now in an eerie biome. So if we take the biome capsule and just drop it on the ground, give it a few seconds, and it will start charging with an eerie biome. As you can see, I already have one that looks just like that one, but it's a bit more charged. And then I have a plains capsule. Now, if I want to if I want to make this eerie biome a plains biome, I can have a plains capsule in my inventory and just paint this like plains. And if you look at the biome line, it says plains, eerie, plains. Now this is plains as well. So very useful, especially if you want to have a specific color on your tree leaves and your grass, for example. On the topic of color, we have a dyeing machine that can color most items, and especially vanilla tools, for example, and armor. And I like pink, even though I call myself black. I would like a pink iron sword. And the iron sword is the one I find to be most appealing in the tint that it gets. And if you look at the tooltip, it says dyed pink. If you don't want it to be dyed pink, you can just put it in the dyeing machine and pull out undyed swords. And let's move on to the spectre glass we just talked about in the beginning of the episode. The spectre glass is quite amazing because if you drop items on it, they will bounce very fancy. So let's take these. And let's spawn a villager. He will drop straight through the spectre glass and I can stand on it. And this zombie does not like to be on not peaceful. Zombie, bye bye. And this is quite fun because you can actually suffocate them if you build a solid block of spectre glass and put monsters or other entities in it, because they will fall through but they will still suffocate because it's a solid block. If we already have one bloodstone with at least 50 charges, we can use 50 charges to activate this ritual here and force the next night to become a blood moon. All you need is 4 blocks of quartz, 4 blocks of redstone, 8 blocks of nether brick, and 9 blocks of obsidian. This ritual is, in this version, a bit bugged, so you can't do it in survival because the nether bricks needs a metadata. However, in the next version this will be fixed. What you do is you just right click the center obsidian block and you get this awesome animation here. and all of your pieces becomes obsidian. However, the next moon will now become a blood moon. And as you see, it took 50 charges. The next item on the list is the player interface. And what it does is it's a block that is your inventory, and that can be very handy. The bottom one here is your hotbar. All the sides is your inventory slots, and the top is your armor slots. We can show you here by just taking the armor here, taking a hopper, or well, a stack of hoppers, pointing it into the armor slot, throw the armor in here, and as you can see, the armor is now on us. If we put something on the side, for example 62 hoppers, you can see that when they get dropped out of the hopper, they go into our inventory. Let's say we were going to go exploring, and it was a real cavey area, and it was really dark, and we didn't like that. We always want torches. Let's take a barrel or a chest or any other inventory management system, and in any way pump them into the bottom of it. It will end up in our hotbar. I'm currently using the item translocator with a diamond nugget upgrade, which means I can specify I want 1 stack of torches at all times in my hotbar, because this is basically my hotbar, and that is so useful. You can see the torches gets refilled immediately, and they are pulled from this chest. Now if you don't have translocators, you might have an MA system or any other way of outputting whenever you feel like I want that. Coming up, we have one of my favorite things in the entire mod, and I'm using a bit of extra utilities here. We have the dark glass and cursed earth spawner that is oh so frequently used by most anybody. Let's go into creative here and also turn on the monsters on hard, because we can. You can see there spawns a ton of monsters in here, but it's very hard to see what's happening in there, especially if you're making YouTube videos. If we go up here, we have a lit room with just ordinary inverted lights, but then the cursed earth won't spawn anything. That's where a completely different item from random things comes into play. The lapis lamp. The lapis lamp is crafted with 4 pieces of iron, 4 pieces of glass, and 1 piece of lapis to get 4 lapis lamps. And all you have to do is just place them down. They don't even need a redstone signal, and they are always on. However, they do not prevent any monster spawners or anything else that requires it to be dark. Thank you, Lumien. I really love this lamp, and I will use it very frequently in some YouTube episodes. Finally, we have the energy distributor. A block connected more to the RF side of things in the modded community at the moment. It has 5 different input sides and 1 output phase, and you can hook it up to any RF power. If you hook it up directly to a capacitor bank, I would suggest you hook it up so that the capacitor bank is actually outputting, so you fill up the buffer of 1 million RF. After that, you can just hook your machines up like this. Now this one will output its power into this sag mill at approximately 60 RF per tick. However, it can power up to 15 machines at a time, but it will only transfer 400 RF per tick total. But still pretty awesome not to have any conduits. The crafting recipe requires energized water, 2 blocks of redstone, 4 blocks of iron, and 2 repeaters. The energized water is made in the imbuing station. Just like we made the flasks, we need gunpowder, glowstone, redstone, and 1 water bottle. So, hooking these up, they get power. Over here we have another capacitor bank, already set to output. We can hook up the ender energy distributor, like so. We can then put a few sag mills over here, and maybe over here. We could even put some up here, but then we need more position filters because I only have 3, so there we go. You can then hold shift and right click any of, let's see, we need to separate them so they don't all filter the same coordinates, like that. You can then put them in here, and the energy distributor will transmit 800 RF per tick instead of the other one's 400, and up to a maximum total of 30 machines. And the machines have to be within a 6-block radius where you set the position filter. And this is so fancy. You can even have, let's break the building a bit. You can even have flying machines that still get power. And that is, according to me, quite amazing. The blood moon, as you can see, changes the way the light behaves. It is a bit more reddish, and if you look at the moon, that is very red. Now if we take one of the charged white stones and throw that on the ground when there is a blood moon, you can see that it starts converting, and it takes approximately 10 seconds. And you can see that there isn't very many mobs around here, and that is because I've hidden a magnum torch, which from X-ray utilities, which inhibits monster spawns. But if we go outside the range of that, which is a quite clear line, we have a ton of mobs. And if we take a, let's just take a sword, specter sword, and start killing a few, you can see that it now has 1 charge. And that works for all of the entities that is killable. Like this. And with that, I want to leave you with a great thank you for watching this video, and I really hope you learned a lot about random things. Bye!